Again, like I said, my life has always been, I don't know, I just always excelled at things. So I got a job in Canary Wharf when I was about 22, and I became a finance manager by the age of 24. And then a year into that, God said to me, leave your job. And I was like, my mom first of all would just destroy my life because she's still getting used to this Christian thing, and I'm gonna be like, I'm leaving my well-paid job to go into ministry. My mom's like, what is ministry, and does it pay the mortgage? So all of that and dealing with that, but I think God had to pull me away from that, because it's very easy when you don't know who you are to find your identity in the things that you do. So I think he let me taste that world, but then pulled me away from the world to say, who are you now? And then there was different things, like being in ministry, there's moments in ministry where finance is not the greatest. You can't find your identity in money. You can't find your identity in who you are. You can't find your identity in the car that you drive, or the car you don't drive. Even little things like pulling people away from me and stripping me of certain relationships and making me have to face Kika in the mirror and be like, am I okay with just who I am by myself? So yeah, definitely all along the way, God is literally, he's unlearning in order to help me to learn. And I think if I was to leave you with, I guess, one scripture, I think it's in Matthew 3, and I think you can find it in Luke 3 as well. It's the encounter of Jesus before the wilderness, which Pastor Basoda mentioned earlier. And what I find fascinating is that the Father opened up the heavens and he spoke and he said, this is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased. Jesus hadn't done anything at that time. And that is always a big thing for me, because I'm like, Kika, you are loved, you're accepted, and you are approved, whether you do anything or not. And that is where I find identity, is the freedom of whether I do, whether I don't do, whether I'm in ministry, whether I'm sitting here or there, I'm approved, I'm sealed, I'm stamped by the Father just because I'm his. And I think daily though, is definitely a process, because there's times when the enemy loves to come and get you to prove your identity or test you to make sure you do your identity. So of course there's moments where, just be honest, even as somebody who's a public speaker, there's moments where you want to speak to impress, and you have to pull back and say, no, Kika, you are before you do, and you are loved even if you don't do. So that's pretty much been my journey so far.